Now, the intention behind a type 1 belief system is to be right. And type 1 belief that's very comfortable is, I am right and they are wrong. This is the intention behind war and strife. And it sets family against family, neighbor against neighbor. I am right and they are wrong. Type 1 believing is more or less taking an inventory of your memory and determining the plausibility of some statement. And as long as you come up with, yeah, it could be, and the source of the information is making you right, you will be persuaded. Persuasion in a type 1 belief system is based on the emotions connected with being right or wrong. That's the type 1 process of believing. Someone says something, it sounds plausible, and you get this little emotional surge because what you suspected was right really is right, or what you suspected was wrong really is wrong. This is also the formula for getting elected by a large group. You say something, make it sound plausible, and stimulate some righteous emotion. Most political platforms consist of type 1 beliefs. Okay, let's move up a level to type 2 beliefs. See what it means to believe there. With type 1 believing, you check the record to see if a statement was plausible, but with type 2 believing, you don't have to check for memories because you already know. You know without looking. See, knowing has more certainty than remembering. How many times do you have to experience a cause and effect sequence before you know? I mean, how many times do you have to repeat an action always producing the same result before you can know without looking what the result of the action is going to be? You just know. That's a type 2 belief. Type 2 beliefs are common sense, and there's really no effort involved in believing them. You just know. If someone tells you they dropped an object on the floor, they dropped an object and it fell to the floor, you're going to go, "Duh, what did you expect?" You know? You don't have to check to see if it's plausible or if the person is making you right, because you know that dropped objects fall to the floor. And now if someone were to say that he dropped an object and it fell up to the ceiling, you're not going to feel that your righteousness is threatened. You'll just consider that the guy is some sort of a whack job, you know? The intention behind type 2 beliefs is to conform and act rationally. And in this case, rationality is based on transparent beliefs that everyone pretty much agrees on. If you want to persuade someone of a type 2 belief, you appeal to their sense of conformity. Okay, let's move up another level to type 3 believing process. If you want to experience a complicated believing system, explore a type 3 system. The intention behind type 3 beliefs is prove it. And you're going to persuade someone by presenting facts that support your theory and disputing facts that don't support your theory. Now, there's still this shadow of an urge to be right from type 1. But type 3 is the realm of physical sciences and facts and hypotheses and propositions and suppositions and theories, and especially measuring devices. Did you know that there are measuring devices to measure how accurately other measuring devices measure? It's a fact. The mantra of type 3 believing is, what evidence do you have for believing that? Now, a large part of type 3 believing is arguing over evidence. And the only way of settling a type 3 argument is with measuring devices. And even that doesn't always work. The type 3 process of believing is a factual investigation of the perception of a reality that's based upon transparent beliefs and assumed to be true. For example, 2 Harvard psychologists discovered that when a 110-volt shock is applied to the right side of a rat's cage, the rat moves immediately to the left side of the cage. And from the experiment, they were able to conclude that rats are intelligent enough to avoid being shocked. Now, after the experiment, one of the psychologists accidentally stumbled and touched the live electrodes. And responding to his screams, the other psychologist, instead of moving away, grabbed the first psychologist and both of them were so severely shocked that they required medical attention. Proving that a rat is smarter than 2 Harvard psychologists. Type 3 beliefs are based on scientific evidence, which is based on measuring devices, which measure something that is assumed to be real. Science doesn't so much extend the frontier of human experience as it extends backward from the frontier of human experience. Anyway, even with its shortcomings, I'm a big fan of type 3 beliefs because that's where you find the best power tools and heavy machinery.